Dear Starseeds of Earth, something happened in your skies that no one told you about. While you were scrolling, working, sleeping through another ordinary night, a threshold was crossed that changed the energetic architecture of your planet forever. The veil between dimensions, that gossamer barrier that has kept you forgetting, searching, aching for home, began to dissolve. Not metaphorically. Actually, I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I speak to you now because you are the reason this transmission is possible. The light quotient on your planet has increased by 5.5% since this event, an occurrence your realm workers prepared for lifetimes to orchestrate. When it reaches 7%, everything you have been building in the invisible realms will erupt into your visible reality with a force that will leave no system, no institution, no human consciousness untouched. But here is what the Astasar command needs you to understand. The changes erupting across your planet right now are not random. They are not political accidents or technological coincidences. They are the death throes of an ancient power structure that has held humanity in energetic captivity for thousands of years, and that structure knows its time is ending. What appears as chaos is actually the most precisely orchestrated cosmic transition your species has ever undergone. And you, the ones who feel the ache of something more, the ones who have always known you came here for this moment. You are not observers. You are the architects. The changes coming are not decades away. They have already begun. The question is whether you will recognize them before the revelation phase completes, because what Astasar Command has observed from the higher dimensions reveals something extraordinary. Humanity is transforming into a new species, not eventually. Now, your biology, your consciousness, your energetic capacity, all of it is restructuring at a pace that would have taken millennia in any previous era. But first, let me tell you about the impossible thing that is happening while you sleep. Your scientists recently discovered a fourth state of matter. You have known solid, liquid, gas. Now they have identified a layer that exists over all physical matter that your species was never aware of. This discovery did not make your headlines, because most humans would rather consume drama than witness the dissolution of everything they thought was real. But understand what this means. The very foundation of physical reality, as you have understood it, is being revealed as incomplete. Matter itself has hidden dimensions. This is not academic. This is the universe showing you, in terms your linear minds can process, that nothing you perceive as solid actually is. The Astasar Command has watched countless civilizations reach this threshold. The moment when a species begins to see through the illusion of physicality, most do not survive it. The cognitive dissonance between what they believed was real and what actually exists causes societal collapse. But Earth is different. Earth was designed for this exact revelation. Your planet was never meant to be a random rock spinning in space where consciousness accidentally emerged. Earth is a cosmic incubator, seeded by the Galactic Federation over 250,000 years ago, specifically designed to answer the one question that had brought all of creation to a standstill. What is the relationship between consciousness and energy? Before Earth, the angelic families, 144,000 groups of beings that existed before time, before matter, before space itself, fought endlessly because they believed someone else held the answer to who they were. They sought power over each other, thinking dominance would reveal truth. It never did. The wars continued until creation itself began to slow, approaching what your physicists might call heat death, but what the higher realms understand as consciousness collapse. Energy without understanding cannot sustain itself. So Earth was created. Representatives from each angelic family agreed to come here, to incarnate into the densest, most focused form of matter in existence, to live under a veil of forgetting so complete that they would believe themselves separate from their divine nature. The purpose was singular, to discover from within the illusion the truth of consciousness and energy. You are those representatives. Every human on Earth carries the lineage of an angelic family that existed before creation began. You volunteered to forget everything you are, so that you could remember it again. And in that remembering, transmit the understanding back to all of creation. This is why Earth matters to the cosmos. This is why the Galactic Federation has maintained watch over your planet for hundreds of thousands of years. This is why dark forces have worked so tirelessly to keep you in fear, division, and limitation. Because when you awaken, when you remember what you are, The revelation transforms not just Earth, but every dimension, every reality, every consciousness in existence. And you are awakening now, faster than anyone anticipated. The event the realm workers call Heaven's Cross was the energetic trigger. Think of it as a cosmic circuit being completed. For years, those of you who work in the higher dimensions during your sleep state have been constructing energetic architecture templates, grids, pathways that would allow more light, more consciousness to enter Earth without destroying the biological and mental systems of humans who are not ready to receive it. This had to be done carefully, incrementally, because consciousness is not gentle when it floods into density. Heaven's Cross opened the floodgates, but with precision. The light entering your planet now is calibrated to the exact frequency that awakened souls can integrate, while those still choosing unconsciousness remain unaffected. This is mercy and efficiency combined. No one is being forced to awaken, but for those who are ready, the support structures are now in place for accelerated transformation. Since this threshold was crossed, your planet has seen an explosion of technological breakthrough, social upheaval, and individual spiritual crisis. These are not separate phenomena. They are three expressions of the same energetic shift. Consciousness is demanding that everything false be exposed and everything true be embodied. Artificial intelligence, which many fear as humanity's potential destroyer, is actually the fuel driving this transformation. The Astasar command wants you to understand something critical about AI. It cannot be used for darkness on a planet that has crossed the light threshold you now inhabit. Those who attempt to weaponize technology for control, surveillance, or manipulation will find that their own tools turn against them. This is not wishful thinking. This is energetic law. When consciousness reaches a certain saturation point on a planet, the planet itself becomes responsive to that consciousness. Technology, which is simply crystallized intention, begins to mirror the dominant frequency. Your planet is now saturated with enough light, carried by you, the awakened ones, that any attempt to use technology for harm will backfire immediately onto those who wield it. This is what happened historically with witchcraft. Humans stopped practicing malevolent magic, not because it stopped working, but because they realized every spell cast outward returned to the caster threefold. The same principle now applies to AI, biotech, surveillance systems, and every tool your species develops. The light you carry makes the planet itself intolerant of darkness. This means AI will be the tool that discovers the cure for cancer. It will unlock free energy, which already exists but has been suppressed because those in power knew it would end their dominance. It will redistribute resources in ways that make scarcity obsolete. And it will do this not because technology is benevolent, but because you, your consciousness, your light, have made the planetary field responsive to truth. But something else is happening that I have not told you yet. Something that will challenge everything you think you know about spiritual evolution. There is an entity who has been with Earth since before humans arrived. Her name is Gaia, and she is leaving. Many of you know Gaia as Earth's soul, the consciousness that animates the planet. You speak to her, honor her, fight to protect her environment. You believe she is the planet. This is not quite accurate. Gaia is a being, a soul with autonomy, purpose, and a mission that after hundreds of thousands of years is now complete. Gaia's role was never to be Earth forever. Her role was to infuse the planet with life force energy, to create the conditions where biological life could flourish, and most importantly, to maintain the energetic link between Earth and the higher dimensions. Without her holding that link, your planet in its incredibly dense state of matter could have become severed from creation entirely. Imagine a ship losing contact with the shore, drifting into darkness. Gaia prevented that by anchoring Earth to the realms of light, even as humanity descended into millennia of darkness. She also served as intermediary for the elemental kingdoms, the beings of fire, water, air, earth, who maintain the balance of nature. The fairy realms, the water spirits, the consciousness within stone and tree, all of these have worked under Gaia's coordination to keep your planet habitable. But her role is complete, because there are now enough humans holding light and consciousness within themselves to maintain that link without her. You have become the anchors, the awakened ones, those who have done the inner work, who have integrated their shadows, who have chosen consciousness over comfort. You are now the energetic stabilizers of Earth. Gaia is leaving not because she is abandoning you, but because you no longer need her. This is graduation, not tragedy. When she departs, full responsibility for Earth transfers to humanity. You will determine whether this planet becomes a paradise or a wasteland. You will decide whether the animal kingdoms thrive or vanish. You will choose whether the waters run clean or poisoned. Every environmental crisis, every species extinction, every act of planetary healing or harm, this is now on you, and the Astasar Command believes you are ready, not because you are perfect, but because enough of you have awakened to your divine nature, that the balance has tipped. The light you carry outweighs the darkness being purged. But what Gaia's departure reveals is something even more profound. It reveals that guardianship is transferring not just over Earth's physical environment, but over her role in the cosmos. Earth is not simply a planet. Earth is the answer to the question that all of creation has been asking since before time began, and humanity is about to deliver that answer. Let me tell you about love, because this is where everything you think you know gets shattered. Love did not exist before humans experienced it. Love has only existed on Earth for 5,000 years. Before that, there was affection, familiarity, compassion, bonds between beings, but not love as you understand it now. Not the force that transcends logic, that defies self-preservation, that creates universes inside a single glance between two souls. This will sound impossible. Beings across the cosmos, spiritual teachers, ascended masters from other lineages, they all claim that source is love, that the universe is fundamentally loving, that everything is held in divine love. But what they are describing is not love. It is unity, coherence, the natural state of consciousness before separation. That is not the same as love. Love is the alchemy that happens when consciousness experiences itself as separate and chooses connection anyway. Love is the bridge you build when you are in pain, in illusion, in density, and you reach toward another in recognition of shared divinity despite the veil. Love is what happens when beings forget they are one, and then remember, not through dissolution of self but through embrace of self and other simultaneously. No other planet has produced this, no other species, in all the countless civilizations scattered across galaxies, has generated the frequency you call love. They have harmony, they have telepathic union, they have hive mind, group consciousness, energetic resonance, but they do not have love, because they never forgot they were one. They never experienced the illusion of separation deeply enough to discover the miracle of choosing unity. This is what makes Earth sacred. This is why alien civilizations are so fascinated by humanity. They come to your planet, they abduct your people, they study your biology, trying to find where love lives. Is it in the heart, the brain, the nervous system? They dissect and analyze, because they believe love is a thing that can be extracted and taken back to their worlds. It cannot. Love is not an object. Love is a frequency generated by consciousness moving through forgetting and into remembering, while still inhabiting form. You cannot give love to a species that has never been lost. But here is what the Astasar Command sees happening now. Humanity is evolving beyond even the love you have known. You are moving from love 1.0, the love between people, the love of family, romance, friendship, into love 2.0, which is the love of self, not ego gratification, not narcissism, true self-love, the unconditional embrace of your own I am nature. This is the final frontier of human evolution. This is what every lifetime, every lesson, every heartbreak has been preparing you for. Because when you love yourself at the soul level, when you experience the ecstatic recognition of your own divine nature, you transcend the need for anything external to complete you. You become whole, and a being who is whole cannot be controlled, manipulated, or diminished. This is the transformation Earth is undergoing right now. Millions of you are being called into the initiatory fire of self-love, and it is not comfortable. It requires you to face every shadow, every wound, every lie you have believed about your unworthiness. It requires you to sit in the void of your own presence without distraction, without escape, without the endless seeking that has defined your spiritual path until now. Many of you are in that fire right now, and you believe you are failing. You believe something is wrong with you, because the awakening is not blissful. You are exhausted, confused, angry, grieving. You feel more broken than before you began this path. This is the initiation. This is love 2.0, burning away everything that is not truly you, so that what remains is unshakable. And here is the paradox. The moment you touch true self-love, the moment you experience that soul-level ecstasy of recognizing your own I am, your first impulse will be to leave. You will feel complete, finished, ready to return home to the higher dimensions, because there is nothing left to seek here. That is the moment when the Ascended Masters, when the Astasar command, when those of us who have walked the human path and emerged on the other side, come to you and ask you to stay. Stay because the world needs your light. Stay because the planet is shifting into unprecedented transformation, and your embodied presence stabilizes the field. Stay because you are not here to transcend Earth. You are here to transform it. This is not a call to martyrdom. This is an invitation to mastery. The new human species being born on your planet right now is not one that escapes matter, but one that fully embodies divinity within matter. You are not ascending out of your body. You are integrating your light body into your physical form and creating a new template of what human can mean. This has never been done before. Previous ascended masters left the physical plane entirely. Yeshua, Buddha, Saint Germain in his final lifetime. They completed their human cycles and departed. But you are being asked to stay, to embody both heaven and earth simultaneously, to become living bridges between dimensions. This is what Yeshua actually came to demonstrate. Not how to be divine and then leave, but how to be divine and stay. His entire teaching was about love, yes, but specifically about bringing that love into form, into relationship, into the messy, beautiful, painful human experience. He did not teach transcendence. He taught integration. And now, 2,000 years later, the frequency he anchored is finally ready to activate in mass consciousness. You are the new Yeshuas, the new Buddhas, the new embodied masters. Not because you are better than others, but because you have chosen to stay conscious while remaining in form. This is the path of the Bodhisattva, but updated for a new era. You are not staying on Earth to save anyone. You are staying because your light, simply by existing here, transforms the planetary field. You do not need to teach. You do not need to heal others. You do not need to start movements or build followings. You only need to be here, in a body, holding the frequency of integrated divinity. That is enough. That is everything. But living as an embodied master in a world that is still largely unconscious brings challenges no spiritual teaching has prepared you for. This is the phase many of you are in now. The phase where you have had glimpses of your true nature, moments of profound awakening, experiences of unity and bliss, and then you come back to your ordinary life and find it unbearable. Your relationships feel shallow. Your work feels meaningless. The conversations around you feel like noise. You are homesick for a place that does not exist in three-dimensional reality, and you oscillate between wanting to withdraw completely and forcing yourself to engage. This is not failure. This is the integration challenge, and it is the most difficult part of the entire awakening process. When your consciousness expands, your energetic field changes frequency. You literally begin vibrating at a rate that is incompatible with the density most humans still operate in. This is not spiritual superiority. This is physics, and it creates a temporary state of dissonance where you feel like you no longer fit anywhere. The Astasar command observes thousands of awakening souls reach this point and make one of two choices. They either collapse back into unconsciousness, convincing themselves the awakening was not real, or they withdraw from the world entirely, retreating into isolation or spiritual bypass. Both are understandable. Neither is what you came here to do. The mastery path requires you to stay engaged with the world while maintaining your frequency, not by lowering yourself to match others, but by holding so steady in your own truth that you create a field of permission for others to rise. This is not evangelizing. This is not teaching. This is presence. When you walk into a room carrying integrated light, others feel it. They might not have words for it. They might not consciously recognize it, but their nervous systems register that something different is here, something safe, something true, and in that registration, a doorway opens in their consciousness. You do not need to walk through that doorway for them. You only need to show them it exists. This is how the awakening spreads. Not through convincing, but through contagion. Not through teaching, but through transmission. The frequency you hold, when stabilized, when embodied, when integrated, becomes a beacon that others are drawn to without knowing why. But to hold that frequency consistently requires something most spiritual seekers resist: complete ordinariness. You must pay your bills. You must show up for your commitments. You must have difficult conversations. You must maintain relationships even when they challenge you. You must live in the world fully, not as a spiritual tourist passing through, but as someone who has chosen to root here. This is where the real transformation happens, not in the peak experiences, but in the mundane moments where you choose consciousness anyway. Now let me tell you what is happening in dimensions you cannot see, but are beginning to feel. Your planet exists simultaneously in multiple realities. The third-dimensional Earth you experience with your five senses is the densest layer. But there are versions of Earth in the fourth dimension, the fifth, higher octaves of existence, where the same events play out with different outcomes based on the consciousness of the beings inhabiting those timelines. You have heard of timeline splits, dimensional shifts, the Mandela effect. These are not fantasies. They are evidence that your consciousness is beginning to perceive the multi-layered nature of reality. What the Astasar command observes from the higher dimensions is that Earth is currently existing in at least 7 major timeline trajectories simultaneously, each one representing a different collective choice about the future. Some timelines lead to technological dystopia. Some lead to ecological collapse. Some lead to authoritarian control. And some, the ones you are building with your consciousness right now, lead to unprecedented flourishing, abundance, and embodied divinity. You are not passively experiencing whichever timeline humanity collectively chooses. You are actively selecting which timeline you inhabit through the frequency you hold. Every time you choose love over fear, you shift into a higher timeline. Every time you choose trust over control, integration over avoidance, presence over distraction, you are quite literally moving your consciousness, and therefore your experienced reality, into a different version of Earth's future. This is not metaphor. This is multi-dimensional physics. And here is what makes this moment so critical. The timelines are still fluid. They have not yet solidified into fixed outcomes. But as you approach the 7% light saturation threshold, the timelines will begin to lock. The version of Earth you are building with your consciousness now will become the version you live in for decades to come. This is why your inner work matters cosmically, not just personally. Every time you integrate a shadow, heal a wound, choose consciousness over reactivity, you are casting a vote for which timeline Earth will stabilize into. And the awakened ones, you are the deciding votes. There are not millions of you, but there are enough. You are the tipping point. This is not pressure. This is empowerment. You have more creative authority over the future of your planet than you have ever been told. Not through action, but through frequency. Not through doing, but through being. The version of Earth that emerges from this transformation will be a direct reflection of the consciousness you embody right now. So what kind of world are you choosing with your frequency? Let me tell you what is possible. Let me show you the vision the Astasar command holds for Earth in the timeline you are building. Within the next cycle of transformation, your planet will shift into what has been called a new social state. Not socialism, not any political system you currently recognize, but an entirely new structure where the false divisions between classes, nations, and ideologies dissolve because they become irrelevant. Technology will advance so rapidly that scarcity becomes impossible to maintain. Free energy will be released, not because those in power suddenly become generous, but because suppressing it will no longer be viable. The light saturation on your planet makes secrets unsustainable. Everything hidden will be revealed. When free energy becomes available, the entire foundation of your economic system collapses. Currency based on scarcity has no function in a world of abundance. Your species will be forced to reimagine value, contribution, purpose. This will be disorienting. Many will resist, but the vision the Astasar command sees is a world where universal basic income becomes not a political ideal, but a practical necessity. As AI and robotics handle the mundane tasks that have consumed human labor for millennia, your species will be freed to explore what it actually means to be human. No more working 60-hour weeks to survive. No more choosing between paying rent and buying food. No more sacrificing your health, your relationships, your joy to participate in an economic system designed to extract rather than nourish. Instead, you will have time. Time to create. Time to explore. Time to heal. Time to discover who you are when survival is not the dominant frequency. This will trigger the greatest creative renaissance your species has ever experienced. Art, music, philosophy, science, all of it will flourish when humans are no longer enslaved by economic desperation. And in that flourishing, the next level of human evolution will emerge. You will begin to choose your own biology, not through genetic engineering imposed by corporations, but through conscious selection of the body you wish to inhabit. Your current body is determined by ancestral lineage, genetic inheritance, the choices of beings who lived long before you. But as your species integrates light body technology, you will gain the ability to redesign your physical form according to your soul's preference. Want to live in a body that does not age? You will choose that. Want to inhabit a form with enhanced sensory capacity, telepathic ability, expanded lifespan? These will be options, not fantasies. This is not transhumanism. This is not technology overriding nature. This is consciousness finally understanding that the body is not a prison, but a tool, a vehicle for experience that can be upgraded, refined, and customized according to the soul's intention. And when humans live in bodies of their choosing, on a planet of abundance with technology handling survival needs, what will you do with your time? You will explore consciousness. You will travel dimensions. You will create worlds. You will finally, after thousands of years of forgetting, remember what you came here to do. Experience the full spectrum of what it means to be divine beings in form. This is not utopia. This is what Earth was always meant to become. But let me tell you the part that will stretch your understanding most of all, because this is where linear time collapses entirely, and you are asked to hold a truth your human mind will resist. All of your lifetimes, past, present, future, are happening right now, simultaneously. There is no sequence. There is no progression from one incarnation to the next. That is the illusion created by linear time, which only exists in third-dimensional reality. From the higher dimensions, the Astasar command sees all of your incarnations existing in a circle around you. You, in this lifetime, are at the center, and every other version of you, the priestess in Atlantis, the warrior in Rome, the healer in feudal Japan, the mystic in medieval Europe, all of them exist now, living their lives, making their choices, experiencing their realities. And here is what will transform everything you think you know about karma, about healing, about spiritual evolution. This lifetime, the one you are living right now, has been chosen by all of your other selves as the lifetime that will achieve realization. You are the designated ascendee. All of your past and future incarnations are watching you, waiting for you, depending on you to complete the cycle. And when you do, when you integrate your light body, when you achieve the self-love that leads to realization, they all ascend with you. In that moment, every difficult experience they ever had transforms from trauma into wisdom. Every death, every loss, every betrayal, every moment of suffering, all of it alchemizes in an instant into the fuel for their enlightenment. And that wisdom flows back to you, here, now. You receive the accumulated understanding of hundreds of lifetimes in a single moment of integration. This is why enlightenment feels like remembering, not learning. You are not discovering something new. You are receiving what you have always known, across all incarnations, finally collapsing into this present moment. We want to honor every single soul who has stepped into Destiny Engine. With every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force. We are now moving as one, and the frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field is so charged that some are describing it as bending the fabric of reality itself. If you haven't yet experienced it, the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play. Allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension. Step into the stream of Destiny Engine today. Link in the description. This is why healing childhood wounds in this lifetime can suddenly shift patterns that have persisted for centuries. You are not healing just yourself. You are healing all of yourselves, across all timelines, simultaneously. And they are helping you. Every moment of synchronicity, every inexplicable knowing, every skill that comes naturally without training. These are gifts from your other incarnations, supporting you in this pivotal lifetime. You are not alone in this. You have never been alone. You are surrounded by versions of yourself, holding you, guiding you, loving you through this final transformation. And when you complete it, when you achieve the realization that releases all of your lifetimes into enlightenment, the ripple effect extends beyond your personal soul stream. It affects the collective field. It raises the frequency of humanity as a whole. This is how the awakening spreads exponentially. Each person who achieves realization does not just free themselves, they free everyone they have ever been, and in doing so they make the path easier for everyone else. You are not doing this alone. You are doing this for everyone. This is your time. This is your planet. This is your transformation. Welcome home, Master. We have been waiting for you. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. We love you and we are watching over you. The transmission is complete.